Welcome to Fuerteventura, the final day of the 44Cup Marina Jandia and the final day of the 2025 44 Cup. While conditions are forecast to get light mid-afternoon, at present they are still fresh, blowing an average of 21 knots on the racecourse. In the bigger picture for the Championship Tour trophy, Team Nico is currently on track to win the 2025 44 Cup. To topple her, Aleph Racing needs to finish 5 places ahead. 4 places in a tie would fall in Nico's favour. At present, this looks unlikely as Aleph is 2 places and 7 points behind last year's champions. However, mathematically it is still possible. Let's see what's happening out on the water. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last day of the last event of the 2025 season for the 44 Cup. If you could choose any boat to be on right now, it would be Nika. They're sitting in a very comfortable position for the event. But strange things can happen in sport. Big comebacks do happen. We've seen it before, and they will certainly still be nervous here today. We've got 11 seconds, 10 seconds to the start of the first race of the day. 3 races scheduled. Still great conditions out there. It's a little windier than we expected from the forecast. Looks like one of the boats might be over there. Maybe 1 or 2 at this end. Charisma was really close to the line there. GeMera, they've had some great starts at this committee boat end. The R flag is up. Nika is having to go back, and Team Charisma, both monogas. So there you go. We talked about the nerves. The team's literally wearing the yellow shirts. They are wearing the yellow jersey. Last year's champions leading all year. This is not the start they wanted. They're only just crossing the line there now. Got to get back up and look how far they are behind the other boats. Team GeMera, who are winning the event right now, we'll keep an eye on them today as well. They've had another really good start at this end, and they're really controlling the fleet. They've done that so well, and they've looked so sharp in these conditions and just gotten better and better throughout the year. And I've spoken about it already, but I'm super impressed with this team. A new team this year. Some of the guys have done quite a bit of sailing in this class. Some have done very little. First boat at the top mark, once again, they'll flop onto starboard. No problems. Nice and clear for them to get round the mark. Second behind them is Peninsula. They've been chipping away at this event, just getting slowly better too in their borrowed boat, not their normal boat. That's a write-off now since the huge collision they had at the last event. So again, they've been lent the boat by Black Star Racing. Such a generous offer and a thing to do from Christian, the owner of Black Star, to lend them his boat. He wasn't going to do this event, and he said, hey guys, you can use my boat, which is so generous. And we love to see that kind of sportsmanship in this class. It's renowned for sportsmanship. The racing is tight, but the guys get on out there. Of course, there's rivalries. There's a bit of bitterness sometimes when incidents happen, but there's some true gentlemen in this class. GeMera Racing leading again. They really did well yesterday. They were just sort of very consistent. Just looking at the results right now, they had a second first. They had a 5th in the last race, but only because they blew up a spinnaker. They were leading that race too. You can see them there at the front. It's beautiful having the name on the spinnaker. Thank you guys. That certainly makes my life a little bit easier. And yeah, just they have got a boat Peninsula's pretty close behind them. Artemis too. We've talked about the rivalry between the 2 Swedish teams a little bit. GeMera right now showing that form again, heading around that right-hand mark, as we call it. We always talk about the marks looking upwind, and you talk about a right-hand mark rounding when you're on the boat. Nice, clean kite drops for everybody. Nice rolling waves. Quite a conservative drop there on warp 5, but they're having a nice race as they round there in 5th place. Let's see how this upwind progresses, but GeMera looking really strong right now. Aqua coming in there. Whereas Team Nika? There they are. Okay, they're starting to step up there. Messy drop on board Aqua. They've got it around the bowsprit. Got to get that thing out of the water. You don't want it dragging in the water and trawling. Looks like they should just recover it, but it's still a little bit untidy. But looks like they've got everything sorted out. Nice work by Maddie on the bow there. Oh, funny little round up there. They got a little bit out of control, got a bit squiffy. Maybe they just got taken by a wave, and or Vladimir couldn't see where the mark is, and they came up too far too soon. Little bit messy from Nika. Maybe showing just a little bit of those nerves after that tricky start. Maybe the nerves are just jangling a little bit and taking the edge off them right now. going into the racing today, we have Nika is sitting 7 points ahead of a left. So for a left to beat them by 5 places in the regatta, it was a really tall order, because there's still 3 places behind them at the moment. But anything can happen in sport, so let's see how the day progresses and just keep an eye on it. And of course, we'll be talking about how the event unfolds too, and let's see if Team GeMera can do it. Let's see if they can win an event in their very first year. Francesco Bruni been doing an actually excellent job so far here in Fuerteventura, and they've certainly got the bit between their teeth today, and they're off to the races right now with a lovely position, controlling the fleet down towards the finish. Team Nika there, let's see, they're sitting in 6th. That's okay with the start they had. They've just chipped away up the race course, and they've managed to get themselves back into a reasonable place. As long as nothing crazy happens, they can finish in 6th all day, and they're going to be just fine for the overalls. Of course, they want to have a good event here in Fuerteventura at the Jandia Marina 44 Cup, but it's all about the overalls for these guys. And they've won the World Championships already. They've won 3 events this year. They want to win the overall trophy, and for the 2nd year, and have a brace of years of winning the overall. That would be a huge achievement. Not many teams have done it, winning back to back. Team GeMera, another win for them. That's really good. They just extend their lead. Nika are in 2nd place going today, so they're going to put a nice little lead on the pack behind them. Artemis were 3rd, but they were 7 points behind them, so they'll be nearly 10 now. I'm not sure where Artemis is. They must be about to come in 3rd or 4th. Good event by Peninsula. Good result by Peninsula there too. Oh, a little slightly hairy jibe there. Don't lose concentration. I know you finished. Good race, team, but keep the concentration, get that kite down, and get focused on the next race. It still is pretty windy out there. It's not too lumpy. It's more choppy than lumpy. There's Artemis. Already got the kite down, look, and I guess they could. They were so far ahead, and a 3rd place for them. Putting pressure on their teammates, putting pressure on Nika for the, that should put them ahead of Nika in the event standings. But not in the, there we go. We can see them just move up there. So 2 Swedish teams winning the event right now, but Team Nika still sitting in 3rd, and Aleph Racing is still down in 5th. They are not going to be able to pass them in the World Championships like that. I haven't done the maths yet. I'm not sure it's quite over yet, but it's starting. The writing is starting to be on the wall, even with that bad start from Charisma. With Charisma and Nika are still fully in charge. So as we head into the penultimate race of the whole of the 2025 season, by my reckoning, as long as Nika, nothing crazy happens, no collisions, no penalty points, as long as they have a reasonably safe race, somewhere in the middle of the pack would be fine. I think they're going to win the season. Also, GeMera Racing, if they beat Artemis in this race, they are going to win the Jandia Marina event. Look like Aqua were really close to the start line there, but they've had a brilliant start, brilliant pace. We've seen how this committee boat end is really paid. The right hand side of the first beat has looked strong, and if you can control the fleet with a good start, this committee boat end, look how punched Aqua is. They've got a beautiful lane. GeMera Racing, another really good start from them, and Aleph Racing too. So that really good start by Aqua, the good starts by GeMera. Starting is becoming really key. I mean, it has been for most of the event, but today it's looking like it's really a factor. Looks like the breeze is settling a little bit lighter. GeMera Racing sets their shoe. We saw them blow up a kite on the last race yesterday. That was heartbreaking for those guys. Same thing happened with their teammates Artemis. They blew up. They were leading in race 2, and the chute blew up on the second set. And that's tough when you're leading the race. Your chute blows up, and both of them lost 2 or 3 places. And having both sailing really well, but making life a little bit harder, and they'll both be thinking that was a real shame for them. But everything's fine right now. Parity restored. on board Team Nika. There are your champions in the last 3 events, in the world champions, and the current leaders, looking pretty safe right now. GeMera Racing, fairly conservative drop, but they've got a nice lead. There we go, get the kite in. So they string drop. Most of the kite gets sucked in by the guys on the handles, winding the primary winch with the drop line around it, and then the bowman there, Nico Hutton, he's tiding the rest of the way. Get all the sails wound in, which they're nicely wound in there, and get your weight over the side. Lovely crew work on board. It's nice to watch these guys performing really well. At the end of the season, your crew work should be pretty polished. Going around just behind them there, Aqua, getting the sail. You can see the jib was just a little loose, and there it is, tidied up now, and most of the guys already hanging over the rail. There goes Nika. That's what you need to do. They're in good shape. I'm sure the heart rates are still accelerated. Here we are on board. Pietro Montivani in the pit there, winding the runner up. You can still see the guys trimming everything on, getting everything tuned in, and then flop over the side and hang on in there and hike as hard as you have all year. This is the time when it really counts. You're at your fittest, your hiking strength is good because you've been doing it all week in decent conditions. Here we go, GeMera looking so strong. Looks like they're just going to cruise downwind and pick up their second wind of the day, and by my reckoning, this will win them the event, their first win of the year, but their first win ever, because they are a brand new team coming into this year. And what a great job by this team this week. I'm really impressed. I've said it before and I will say it again, it is not easy to win in your first year. It's not easy to do well in your first year in this class. A lot of these teams have been doing it for decades, for a long time. They're really polished. So to come in and build through the year and learn and progress and beating your teammates, your sistership as well, that's really impressive. They've come into this event on the podium for the season overall, and pumping the main. They're really working hard, just trying to get on the little waves that are still out there. As the breeze is dropping, there's still some leftover swell, which makes it hard upwind, but it's nice downwind. You can still get a little pump on these waves. And that's a beautiful lead. You get clear of the pack and life feels so easy. They'll feel very comfortable. Don't have to do too many jibes. They'll keep it pretty conservative, pretty safe. They're probably on ley line there and heading towards the finish. Well done, team. Francesco Bruni, one of the best in the business. He sailed in this fleet a lot before. In fact, he used to sail with Nika. Went off to do the America's Cup with Luna Rosa. He's back on board the team, back on board the fleet this year with GeMera, and he's certainly helped these guys progress. And what an impressive performance here in Fuerteventura. They've just had it locked in. They haven't had bad results. They've started really well. I think that's been the big key, actually. Every time I've sort of focused on them in the start, they've had a good one. I guess day one they had one or two that weren't perfect, but since then, especially as the breeze built, they've looked really strong. Guys already standing up. They know they've won the race. They know they've won the event. That must feel really good. It's a nice feeling when you know you've got it in the bag. In fact, they don't even have to do the next race if they don't want to. They could take the boat back to the dock. It would be interesting to see what they do. Not celebrating right now, so maybe that's because they're thinking of doing that next race. You certainly need to focus and get the kite down, but there'll be celebrations there pretty soon because they are your last event, Jandia Marina 44 Cup champions. Little off round the mark there, that looks like Team Nika. So they have finished in 4th place, that should be, just ahead of Aqua. I'm not going to say yet, let's roll into the next race before we start talking about them. But for me, I think that mathematically seals it, but I don't want to say too much. Let's focus on GeMera right now, the great work that they've done, and let's give them the plaudits they deserve for winning this event. And again, especially as a new team, very proud of those guys. Excellent sailing in tricky conditions. Conditions that are even race course makes it a little bit harder. It does make it about crew work. It makes it about boat speed. It's not fluke. It's they know what they're doing out there, and to get a couple of bullets in a row, a brace of bullets. Look at that. There we go. 13 points clear of Team Nika. They are your 44Cup Marina Jandia champions. Nika sitting comfortably in second place there, just ahead of Artemis by 3 points, and then a bit of a gap, 4 points down to Aleph Racing. But Aleph, they needed to put 5 places between them and Nika going to today. It's not going to happen. But anyway, on-board interview with GeMera here now, and Francesco Burini. Let's hear what he has to say.
Team GeMera, super happy. We won the event, one race before the last one. We have been chasing this result for a long time, and it's been a great team effort. Super happy. Thanks to the whole team, the short team, the coach, and everyone, and our owner, Marcus. We miss him. Ciao. Thank you.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last race of the season, the culmination of all that hard work. We know who the event winners are already. GeMera Racing, they've already put the whole regatta away. They've opted to do this last race, which I think is great sportsmanship. The team there with the grey hull and the red numbering on the sails. Let's see what kind of start they get here. They've been starting so well this week. They've been the sort of masterclass of the dark art of starting. And there we go, another good start by them. But here we are on board with Team Nika. Now, I've done the mathematics. I don't want to chuck out any spoilers, but these guys have been the form team of the year. They've looked so strong throughout the year. They've won the last 3 races. It's really rare you see teams win 3, beg your pardon, they've won the last 3 events. It is really rare that you see teams win 3 events in a row. It means they're sailing extremely well. It means their boat speed is really good. They're tactically really sound. Nick Ash has been doing a great job, and the crew work is polished. And Vladimir Proshikin's been driving the boat as good as, if not better, than anyone else out there. We talked about GeMera's start, and look where they are again. They're just on fire. They have unlocked the cheat code of these waters in Fuerteventura. They've got the algorithm going, and they're just firing off bullets. They would have had a bullet in the last race yesterday too if their kite hadn't blown up. But they're leading around the top mark again for the 4th time in a row. That's so impressive. And here we are on board Team Nika again. These guys have just been fantastic all season. If they finish second here, it's already put to bed. Let's face it. Aleph, they're sitting there in 4th place right now. One of the interesting stories here is that if Team Aqua can put more than 2 points on Aleph Racing, then GeMera Racing will move up to 2nd place in the season standings, and Aleph would move down into 3rd. Now, if you don't win, you just want to be on the podium, but Aleph Racing, they finished 2nd place last year. They definitely would like to go one better right now. So they'll be looking at Aqua pretty hard. They just need to stay within a couple of points of them, and they will finish in 2nd place for the season. GeMera Racing just looking so comfortable here, aren't they? It's just outstanding. They obviously really comfortable here. The great news for them is the next event is also in the Canary Islands for the start of the 2026 season. We can already start talking about that, I guess. But let's talk about Nika and what a great job they've done this season and continue to do. The breeze is definitely starting to drop down as the forecast had. They're pretty slow, these guys, going around the bottom mark. Once you get the kite away, the boat does decelerate a little bit, but yeah, it's definitely getting a little bit lighter. Not so much about hiking this race, pushing the weight forward a little bit downwind. You could see the guys doing that. Quite a tight little gaggle of boats at the back there. Nika, they're coming into that bottom mark, very what we call fat. That's quite a tricky lay line for them. You can see the Power 15 and left. That was the Swedish boat of Artemis. They were coming with a bit more pace on the other side. There we are, Pietro Montevani in the pit. The pit is one of the busiest jobs on the boat. You don't stop. You're doing the runners, so you're part of the trim team. The kite going up and down is all you. The prod going in and out. They just don't stop. So far, you can see his focus. You've got to be really fit, strong, and very nimble, getting around the boat, keeping everything tidy, making sure ropes aren't tangled, and he's really good at that. And you're sort of the one of the really central people in the team. GeMera Racing, look at that lead. They just on fire today. If they win this race, that is 3 wins in a row. It doesn't happen that often. A little bit untidy. Second hoist often can be. The kite gets dropped into the boat and doesn't really get touched after that, so sometimes it pops out a little untidy like that, but the thing's set nicely. They dropped a bit of headsail to help it pop, and away it goes, and that's a huge lead. But the big story in this race is this boat right here on the left, Monaco number 10, the Monegasque team of Team Nika, just ahead of Charisma here. They'll slot in there just ahead of the Swedish team, and sitting nicely in second, and this is all they need to do. They'll be feeling really good right now. They would have had slight nerves going into today, and they would have had it all week going into the season, knowing that they had such a nice lead on everyone else, and Aleph Racing, who was second behind them. But you know, your nerves are tight. It's talking of tight, the weather sheet there is just a bit tight on the kite, but that's releasing now. The sheet gets to ease and off they go, and they did a nice little job. They extended there actually on the boats behind them and looking very comfortable. It's hard to go in with the yellow jersey with the target on your back, and you just have those nerves, this sort of nervous energy that you have to expend. But they've kept it together, and even though they've had the odd bad race here and there, they've actually looked really sharp, and if they finish second here, by my calculations, that will put them second for the event, and that would mean they only score 5 points for the whole season. So they can discard 1, which they had a third in their first event of the year in Nanny K. So they'll be discarding a third, counting a first, a and a second for 5 points. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you score 5 points in a whole season, you are going to win the season. And these guys are doing that this year. It looks like they should have a comfortable here. So Vladimir, the owner, one of the long-term and a big supporter of this class, a true gentleman of the class, and really happy to see him win. And the rest of the team, Jero, Kika, Tavi and Harry, Skip, PG, Pietro Nasha, Tomasz the coach, and Arthur and Maddie on the shore crew, and Micho who runs the whole thing and keeps it all together. What a fantastic result this year. 5 points for the whole season. Extremely impressive. 2 seasons in a row. World champions, overall champions, 2026, 44 Cup champions. Keep saying champions. They deserve to hear champions a lot because they've done it for 2 years in a row. And there's now looking like they're starting to build a dynasty. Can anyone beat them next year, I guess, is the question. We can already start talking about that. But they don't have to worry about that right now. They need to get back to the dock and start opening bottles of champagne. They finished second this event. That's easy enough. That's all they need to do. They will be lifting the trophy later on today. This is not an easy class to do well in. There's a lot of blood, sweat and tears that goes into these victories. So certainly to win 2 seasons in a row is it's such a tough thing to do. Every year the fleet progresses. There's new development. The teams are all working really hard, looking for that next edge. And the caliber of sailors in all the teams is really high. So to win 2 seasons in a row like that, what a fantastic job. GeMera Racing, 3 bullets today, 31 points in total. They should take a bow for a fantastic performance here in Fuerteventura. Team Nika 2, ladies and gentlemen, they are your champions in 2025. Let's hear from the man behind it all and the man of the moment, Vladimir Prishikin.
We are very happy. We are very happy to win the season. And last regatta was great. GeMera was unbeatable, obviously, and they were the best. But it was very good regatta for us and for everyone, with excellent conditions and quite a good place, new one. So that's it. I believe. Happy, celebrating now.
I'm at Cornwell, and it's been a pleasure to watch the racing with you here at the Jandia Marina 44 Cup. After 10 months of hard work, 53 hard-fought races in 5 venues spanning the globe, and the thrills and spills that this class always provides us, Team Nika are your back-to-back 44 Cup season champions.